And welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe, and it's the very last edition for the year 2021.
Thank you for joining us again. I am Tayo Salam.
All right, on the program this morning, not good news no, for all Nigerian fans who are expecting Victor Osimhen to be in AFCON. Right now, he is a major doubt because he tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday and is expected to be in Napoli for a test before he can compete for Nigeria at the Nations Cup.
Wow, it's not good news at all. Just when some Nigerians started to celebrate that perhaps Victor Osimhen might be leading the Super Eagles attack in Cameroon, and this happens. We'll see how it pans out before the competition starts, whether or not Victor Osimhen makes it to the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. But the story is, he is a major doubt. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the appearance of Victor Osimhen for Nigeria in Cameroon. Also on the program, still talking football, we're going to be doing a preview of match day 4 of the Nigerian Professional Football League 2021-2022 season. It's going to be interesting because Embiid once again have a very, very tough task on their hands. I don't know who's done that draw for them.
Against Canopilas. I asked you that question yesterday, Tayo. Incredible for Finidi George, not finding it easy at all, facing all the big sides in the first 4 games. Also on the program, Joel Embiid was the man in action against the Knights because he led them to another victory. Some Sixers beating the Brooklyn Nets 110 and 102, despite the return of Kevin Durant, who had at least 33 points in the game. But Embiid finished with 34,
Yeah, the night belonged to Joel Embiid, the Cameroonian center, with 34 points in that victory. So that's it. There's a lot to come on the show, apart from these headlines. So stick with us for the next 55 minutes or thereabouts. We're going to start off with the NBA. Typically, we've got just the 3 games that went down this morning. Unfortunately, COVID is really wreaking havoc all over the globe, across all sports, and the NBA is no exception. The other game that should have been played was between the Warriors and the Nuggets, but it had to be postponed because the Nuggets didn't have 8 players to prosecute the game. Incredible stuff.
Not up to 8 at all.
Incredible.
All right.
But we'll focus on the games that were played. Cecilia, starting with the 76ers and the Nets, 110 to 102 in favor of Philadelphia. They went into Brooklyn and got that very impressive victory.
And the Bucks and the Magic were also in action, 136 and 118. It happened. And of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he was in a very good mood, celebratory mood, because he scored 33 points with 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks.
Wow.
Dominant.
So let's talk about filling up the start sheet.
No space.
The Greek freak doing what he loves to do, or what he knows to do best. Also, the Cavs were in action against the Washington Wizards, 93 to 110. That's how that one ended in favor of Washington. Bradley Beal with 29 points and 10 assists in his first game back from NBA's health and safety protocols. So it's good to have Bradley Beal back for the Washington Wizards, and they will be very happy with that victory over the Cavs. For the Cavs, unfortunate, Ricky Rubio is out for the season after tearing his anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee, and that's going to be a major miss for the Cavs, who have been the surprise team of the season.
Yep.
All right.
Focus on the Sixers and the Nets now.
Indeed. Embiid was on fire.
Yeah. Joel Embiid, yeah.
34 points on the night for Joel Embiid as he defeated the Brooklyn Nets right there in Brooklyn, 110 to 102, spoiling the return of Kevin Durant to the lineup of Brooklyn. Cecilia.
Yeah, I mean, for Joel Embiid, he had 3 triples, 3 pointers, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block. I mean, there was also tension between him and of course, KD. They exchanged some words, and at the end of the day, well, I mean, they said, okay, there was really no big deal just for the game. But Durant, as you mentioned, 33 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. James Harden also recorded another triple-double, 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. But those numbers were just not enough because, I mean, Joel Embiid wasn't just the man who led the 76ers. You also have a support cast coming on,
Yeah,
coming
they all
from
came
Seth
through.
Curry,
They
you
came
know,
through.
all of them just putting on some numbers, and that actually propelled them to that victory.
Yeah, you're spot on. Embiid did the spot, but then the supporting cast also showed up, starting with Tyrese Maxey,
Yeah.
scoring 25 points, including 5 3-pointers. You mentioned Seth Curry.
Yeah.
He was good as well, to 17 points on the night for the 76ers in that victory, and that's why they've ended up winning that particular game. Let's get
Brooklyn.
Sorry?
No, I said in Brooklyn.
Yeah, indeed. Very impressive because when the season started, we thought it was going to be the Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers, the top two dogs in the Eastern Conference. Of course, the Nets are top dogs. Issues with the 76ers, they've lost a lot of games, and they're starting to streak some games
Yes, their
together
third win
now.
in a row.
Exactly.
See how far they will go with this one.
Yeah, but it's been a very, very difficult season
Yeah.
for them. That's just a bottom line. 19 and 16 for the season. They're not anywhere closer to the top at the moment. But after this victory, of course, Joel Embiid is very, very, very delighted that they were able to show what they could do against the top dogs in the Eastern Conference.
A win is a win. It doesn't matter every single night. You got to get a win. Obviously, that's like I said, the best team in the conference. But we didn't accomplish anything, crazy. We just played against another NBA team and we won the game. It's the regular season, so it's really nothing to really be that excited about. But I'm happy. We getting back on the roll. It's time to climb up, the standings again and get back to where we were before, COVID really hit us at the beginning. And I think we have a chance to do that.
That's Joel Embiid reacting to the victory over the Brooklyn Nets. Not getting too excited, even though it was the Nets.
Yeah.
It's just a win, a win.
You
Well,
just
it's a
won.
win that would definitely, boost our confidence going forward for Philadelphia.
Getting to New Year.
Exactly. All right.
For
to
the
other
Nets,
guys.
yes, KD and of course James Harden, their points just wasn't enough for them to secure that victory. We'll get their reaction now.
More than enough talent to, have a really good game after a really good first quarter. But we climbed in the game, climbed back in the game. We did a really good job of just locking down defensively and do what we're supposed to do. Obviously, 16 points in that second quarter. We got a chance in that third quarter. I think we went up 8 or something. I can't remember what it was, but we just allowed them to get offensive rebounds and more shots at the rim than us, more shots in general after us. You can't allow a team like that, especially with the shooting that they have, and then obviously, Joel.
If you've been watching Joel and I play against each other, it's been like that every game, even the All-Star game. We just respect each other so much that that natural competitive fire, I guess, comes out, So it's the name of the game. And letting them know we coming with the same energy. I like the energy that they play with tonight. You love competition. It's only going to make you better. It's always good to play, Tonight's game was fun to be a part of, but, I think we shot ourselves in the foot throughout this game. But it was good to be back.
All right, let's take a look at the top performers, those guys who put up the numbers. There's some very, very similar figures, similar numbers from on the night. With starting with Joel Embiid, who had 34 points on the night. James Harden had 33. Kevin Durant had 33. Giannis Antetokounmpo also having 33. Now, Joel Embiid, 34, 7 in 1.
Yeah, just a one assist for Embiid. They didn't
But then he got 3 blocks.
Yeah.
And
those are more important.
3 steals and 1 block.
More important stats for a center. KD, 33, 6, and 4 for the Nets. In his return, this guy coming back after 2 weeks, and he always comes back like his never left.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
He just
how
fits in.
Slots in seamlessly.
Now just look at these numbers,
The
and
beard.
you're on the losing side.
The Beard,
It hurts.
6th triple-double for the Beard was a losing effort.
Yeah.
All right, and last
And
but
of
not
course,
least,
Giannis, 33, 12, and 5.
a great freak.
All right. Two on the winning side, you're the two on the losing side.
That's it for the NBA.
Okay, now, 2021 has been a very, very great year for everyone. Yes, COVID happened, Omicron happened, and every other thing you can think of. But at the end of the day, in the world of sports, sports had to go on. Players had to play, athletes had to run. And I put up this report concerning what happened in 2021 and how it all went down, especially in Nigeria.
Sports in 2021 assumes a more lively disposition despite the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic that disrupted economic and social activities in 2020. In Nigeria, the National Sports Festival in Benin City, Edo State, finally got underway after several postponements owing to increasing virus infection rate. After 3 weeks of action, Delta State emerged overall champion after topping the medals table. But aside from these competitions, what can be done to engage the homegrown athletes?
It was not perfect, but I'm really looking forward to Delta next year because I know the guys in charge, but at least they have a track record, so you have an expectation for that. The youth games was super for us because if you notice on that table we had more of our competitors coming second, silver and bronze, which for me was good because we clearly had the youngest contingent at the competition. So if we have that, it tells in the future is great already. So yes, it does bridge the gap, but we need more of those competitions. It doesn't have to be a national competition. Where are the regional games? Where did they disappear to? Where are the inter-school and interstate? It's only football we keep seeing, and even the football. So we need to create more platforms for competition.
The Tokyo Olympics had its share of shortcomings caused by the virus outbreak, which implied for the first time in the competition's history, fans are not allowed physical access to the games. Team Nigeria presented 63 athletes in 9 sports, with athletes protest over remuneration and disqualification of some Nigerian athletes from the track events for failing to comply with the out-of-competition testing requirement plagued the country's campaign. In the midst of this, Blessing Oborodudu in women's wrestling and Ese Brume in women's long jump put Nigeria on the medal table at the end of proceedings.
There's been the highs, there's been the lows. There have been concerns for Nigeria, but we can always look forward to the future, that there's an improvement somewhere. From the Olympics, where we had quite a lot of promise going into it, and unfortunately, it just didn't live up to expectation. We did win a couple of medals, and that for us is where we'll build on, going for subsequent events. There's the Commonwealth Games 2022, so there's the blueprint for what we've done this year.
We know that COVID-19 dealt us a fatal blow, slowed down a lot of activities. Many things did not quite go well. Remember at the Olympic Games, for example, we did not really excel the way one should have. Some key sports did not even feature at the Olympic Games. Some sports were abandoned after years of training and hardship. That I find difficult to explain.
You saw there were a lot of issues at the Olympics. Some of our athletes couldn't participate because of mismanagement at home. Some of the federations were actually in turmoil before we went to the Olympics. That is very clear from the AFN to the MBBF. There were issues about marketing, about kitting. I think 2021 threw up all those issues. And I think that it's giving us some consciousness to begin to look for answers. I think that's what the minister is trying to do.
The Tokyo Paralympics followed suit and, as usual, became Nigeria's biggest platform to excel. Nigeria's Paralympians left the Japanese capital with 4 gold, 1 silver, and 5 bronze medals.
The chairman of the electoral committee.
After the Olympics and Paralympics, the National Sports Federation's elections raised several questions regarding the autonomy and independence of the governing bodies.
Whilst they say things about government interference and support for the game is sort of like overbearing sometimes, I genuinely don't think that's the case. You need to identify what you need to do together because strategic partnerships very, very important for cricket and other associations going forward. You need to define the strategic partnerships with government. strategic partnerships with the media, strategic partnerships with sponsors, strategic partnerships with schools and other organizations. I think when people begin to see that these opportunities and the nature of relationships are clearly defined from the beginning, then everyone will be aligned.
Moses Simon playing as right wing back today, delivers that one into the
The
box.
performance of Nigeria's national football team, Super Eagles and Super Falcons in international competitions comes into focus.
The opportunity, and Nigeria have a dream start.
Super Eagles' near escape in the race to the 2022 FIFA World Cup drew different reactions from stakeholders, which cost then-coach Gennard Rohr his job.
We need to go back to the basics, and we need to look for the right structures, the right foundations that will make us recover ourselves. In the African Footballer of the Year award, we are really hardly mentioned anymore in the real sense of it.
What happened to globally, the pandemic, is also reflected in Nigerian sports generally. So we really didn't make much mark, and even in football competitions that we qualified, we didn't really qualify with relative ease. We struggled all throughout. I just hope that by 2022 we should be able to do things better.
2022 promises to be another eventful episode for Nigerian sports, with the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and FIFA World Cup in Qatar all in stock.
We're all hoping for a better 2022. So it wasn't all gloom and doom for Nigeria. At least some medals came from Paralympics, medals came from the Olympics. And of course, National Sports Festival was another one that was really remarkable. And so many federations organizing tournaments, trying to give access to those who want to play the sport, to have opportunity to play. Well, except in basketball right here at home. Favor Itwa is joining us on this segment to take a look at 2021. Favor, good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Cecilia. Nice being here. Compliments of the season.
I wish you same. Now, 2021, what was it like for you, especially in Nigerian sports?
2021 was a mixed time for Nigeria, positively and negatively. I mean, the 2021, we're just recovering from the pandemic year, which saw that many of our athletes could not train in 2020. So we're excited about 2021. Knowing fully well that that particular year would have the Olympics, would have the National Sports Festival, would also have Paralympics and other sporting events. I mean, when it started, we're optimistic about what Nigeria could do at the Olympics, especially having the wrestlers doing so well in different fields, also having our table tennis players, having our athletes breaking records here and there. So we're optimistic, not until at a point we started seeing issues left, right, center, talking about, for instance, the National Sports Festival having started in Edo State with lots of glamour. At the point, we saw threats to, cancel the National Sports Festival, not until the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Intersport, had to, assure the Edo State government that the festival will continue. We also saw prospects of athletes who, came out and, won their first medals at the National Sports Festival, both in track and field and other sports. Also in the year 2021, we saw the Tigress, winning Afrobasket back to back in Cameroon. They won Mali, convincing results for the ladies. Adora Ilono was fantastic. Macaulay also. We saw our ladies doing us proud in basketball. Coming to the Olympics proper, I would say we didn't really have it good. There was lots of optimism going to the Olympics, but when we got to the Olympics, there was different issues, different stories. Our athletes out of competition testing, some of them disqualified. The wrestlers, we had lots of hope. Oduayo Adekoroye could not, get to that podium finish. It was surprising for us. Not forgetting also the track and the field event, shot put, Elekwechi. We had lots of hopes for him, but he got to the finals, could not finish also on the podium. Protest the left, right, center. But then the positives of the Olympics, you can also look at it as, the first time, the last three Olympics, we came out with 2 medals. And 2021 was just a mixed year for.
All right, Favor, we need to go on a short break. We'll get back to you after this. Yes, we're still taking a look at 2021 Nigerian sports, and Favor Itwa, sport journalist, is still with us. Favor, you were talking about some other lows that happened, especially the track and field, and of course, some moments you were not really happy with. So take it from there.
All right. Talking about the track and field, I mean, we saw Blessing Otagbai as the lady who could, we expected to get to the podium. Tobilabo Amuson, not forgetting also the new discoveries of Grace Iwokocha, who dazzled at the National Sport Festival, and not also forgetting the likes of Favor Pili. When we got to to the Olympics, we saw what happened. Blessing Otagbai, of course, she was not allowed to compete, of course, after testing positive to growth hormone. And also, we saw Tobilabo Amuson. She did bring a game, when it comes to the track and field events, the track events rather. So it was our hopes being raised to a level whereby we expected results. At the end of the day, it was dropped. And the least expected, yes, of course, when you talk about wrestling, you want to look at Odwai Adekoro Yemo, was Blessing Ogorojudo, who gave us a medal, silver, and it was wonderful. Celebrated, of course, the first medal for wrestling in Nigeria. And that also came in from when she defeated the US lady Sana in the finals. And then talking about AC Brume, yes, a lot of persons expected AC Brume, considering what she did this year. She broke Choma Joan's record, set a new record for herself, which is the African record in the long jump event, and she got to the podium. She won bronze. When you want to look at it compared to last editions of the Olympics, you would see that we got up a bit. I mean, one of the best finishes in the last three. But then there's also a low point. Looking at Nigeria, the optimism, looking at what we expect, especially looking at a country like Kenya finishing amongst the top 20 in the world at the medal table at the Olympics. I mean, we're expecting more from their athletes, but we could not get, we are not, no thanks to the politics, of course, in athletics, where we had lots of issues, power tussles in left, right, center. Also, we could look at the Nigerian Basketball Federation as a particular federation that also had issues. But we can also look at the positive too. Young athletes competing. Ise Mababuko competed at the 4x4 mixed relay. We saw what she did. Yes, I mean, you want to say that's a positive. Aminat in wrestling, young lady doing a lot also in that field. And some other athletes discovered from the National Sport Festival. 2021, I think it has shown us that if you don't prepare, you're only preparing to fail. We saw how athletes started preparing for the Olympics right before, even at the end of the major Olympics. So, which of course for Nigeria, it's been, paucity of funds. It's been trying to the ministry trying to ensure the Adopt an Athlete initiative is driven, and we all know that it's not going to be a magic, having just 1 year or 2 years to prepare for the Olympics. You can't just really do or surpass one who has been training for the past few years. So, in the aspect of the Olympics and the power tussles in Nigeria, trust me, did really help Nigerian sport. And we saw the outcome of everything that played out. And then the Olympics itself, we are celebrating, yes, we won 2 medals. But for me, I don't see it as a wonderful feat for Nigeria. Knowing fully well that we took over 50 athletes to the Olympics. Yes, some of them were not allowed to compete. But we competed in a favorable sports. For instance, wrestling, for instance, track and field, basketball. We had lots of hope, especially the Tigers won US in the friendly. But of course, we knew what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Favor, it's a whole lot. If you want to pick now, what's your best moment for 2021? Just pick one particular moment in 2021. What's your best?
There are lots of wonderful moments for 2021 Nigerian sports, but I would like to go. It's going to be difficult. Okay, the Tigers. I'll go with the Tigers.
Yes.
I mean, despite the challenges experienced in the Basketball Federation, they were able to do back to back, winning the AfroBasket in Cameroon, Yaoundé. I think I would give them thumbs up for what they were able to achieve. So the Tigers, for me, in Nigerian sports, they have my 2021.
Yeah, thank you so much, Favor Ito, for taking our time to join us this morning. Wishing you a splendid 2022.
Yeah, happy New Year in advance. Thank you.
Thank you. Jide Olaniran is right here in the studio, a sport journalist also. Jide, good morning.
Good morning,
how you doing?
Cecilia. Great.
Good
Tayo.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tayo is back.
Been back for a minute. For you, I mean, as usual, like it's like at the end of every year we come back and talk about this.
We review the year.
Yeah, and it ends up being the same old summary. Could have been better. Should be better for a country of Nigeria's potential, talents and all of that. But I guess we got to keep managing with some of these face-saving moments here and there. For you, what would you say is your highlight of 2021 from a Nigerian sporting angle?
I think most times people will just want to identify with the success more than failure is enough, and
It's
no
natural.
doubt it's nobody wants to remember how you failed at times, except for if you just want to use it as a motivation for things to come. But like Favor said, I think for me the Tigress.
The Tigress
Yep.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
They assigned that, and most times we also don't focus. There's no spotlight on some individuals who are doing great things with sports. Maybe
Yeah.
in the year, you know, I 2021 has taught me a lesson that those who are doing the real work in sports in Nigeria, those who are doing it beyond the spotlight, they are not where everybody sees them. You know, there's this young girl in Bielsa that was a young girl, about how old is she? Who was chess. She did something great with chess, and because at times I just don't want to focus on some of the shenanigans in sports, like the normal sports we report every day, like, because most times, for example, you want me to talk about the fact that about over 10 of our athletes couldn't participate in the Olympics. I don't want to discuss that. Do you want to talk about
that's
the
why I asked for your
athletics?
highlights
Yeah, exactly.
of the year.
So pick one.
And also, yeah, there's
Tigress.
this young man, the Tigress, the young
The
lady,
9-year-old,
the 9-year-old lady, exactly. Thank
yeah,
you, Cecilia, who was, you know, and of course there's a young
Deborah
man who's
Quickpen.
quick, exactly.
Yeah, Deborah Quickpen,
You know,
9-year-old.
you know what
on
moved
chess,
me
yeah.
when the day the way she was crying when she was rewarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just felt these are young people. You know, this is early for this lady, young girl rather, to know that what sports can do to her future.
Yeah, the Africa Youth Games.
There's this
in,
young man also doing something with slum in chess in the slum. These are guys who are, they don't have political office. They are not. He's not the chairman of Chess Federation. He's doing very well with it. So for me, I think those are my.
Yeah.
Apart from Andy Tigress, because they did well, and you also, it was almost mad with some crisis also after winning everything. That shows that. So, I
Against
mean,
all odds,
we're against all odds. We need to get some of these things right.
Right.
I'm tired of the drawing board. I'm tired of of course, committees. If the sport has gone beyond that, of course, I don't think we're also doing, what are the solutions? We should know from our results, we should know that sports is not all about committees. Sports also has moved beyond, trying to use your physical might. It's gone scientific, because that's your answer to the reason why some of our athletes who couldn't progress to the podium and all that.
Okay.
So we should look beyond that.
Yeah, you're spot on. So despite in spite of all of the systemic failures, we saw a lot of Nigerians that do great things, for themselves and by extension the country. Kamaru Smart defended the title twice.
Yeah.
That was all him.
Yeah.
Not from Nigeria. Kamaru Smart.
In diaspora, yeah. I mean, Nigerians in diaspora are doing fantastic
work. We saw the what's it called now? Habibat Ogunbanwo went to the Olympics and set a national record. She's still a teenager, deserves a lot of credit. The under 20,
of course,
went to the World Athletics Championships and did fantastically well. Nigeria's best outing so far.
So far, yes.
They deserve a lot of credit, despite all of the issues that they face on a daily basis. So it's not all doom and gloom, like you said, Cecilia, but we're still taking baby steps. It's a shame that is the case for a country
why I said it's gone beyond
as massive as Nigeria.
We should look at exactly sport has gone scientific. We should be where, with the amount, people always refer to our population, and the position we take. Nigeria, this is Nigeria we're talking about. So we should be talking more about how we are getting it right, more than what failures we're recording, really.
I hope so. For me, I think 2021 was better than 2020. Okay, 2020, yes, that was the year of the pandemic. But 2021, somehow we're able to pick up some things. I mean, celebrate a whole lot, despite the failures, that came with
that's
it.
why
By the end of the
referred
day,
to some
so
of
we can rate it like maybe 75%, right?
75%.
75 for me, because I mean,
you are
D
generous.
Tigress really,
you are really generous.
D Tigress really, I mean, they made my day, and the sport festival also, the young athletes who came and compete also made my day.
There's
so
this young girl too at the sports festival. You
yeah,
remember?
Stephanie. Stephanie
Onyesiriku,
yeah.
those are the,
Stephanie
we should,
also. I mean,
I want
she
to see
made my
those
day
young
also.
people grow into better. I want to see. Let's train them to.
So all right. So let's live and hopefully 2022 will be a great year. A great
hopefully,
year. Yeah, because we have so many competitions.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they're all going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
And it'll be very interesting to hear what Nigerians have to say as well in terms of their moments.
Yeah, so talk to us.
In terms of their moments of the year.
So talk to us for this morning at channelstv.com. Send us an email. Of course, we'll try as much as possible to read it. If you can do that today on 2022, the very first program of the year, we should be able to do that. So send us an email at sportthismorning@channelstv.com. All right, just tell us your best moment of 2021 and what you intend to see in 2022. Remember, that's the year of the World Cup, the Nations Cup, the Africa Women's Cup of Nations also there. And of course, you have so many tournaments happening in 2021. The World Athletics Championship in the US is also in 2022. So much to look forward to. The Commonwealth Games is also in 2022. It's it's a year that is filled with lots of activities for Nigerians. All right, now let's do our countdown to the 2021 Nations Cup happening in 2022 in Cameroon, and it's just 9 days to the commencement. And as a last count, we have just 6 players in Super Eagles camp. Camp opened yesterday. Camp opens on the 29th, right? 29th was Wednesday. Today is Friday. At the last count, we have 6 players in camp. Chidera Ejuke is right there all the way from Russia. Danny Akpe in the South African contingents are already here. Olisanda also here. Then we have John Noble, Taiwa Woniyi. They are all in camp. 28 players invited. Yes, Osimhen is a doubt for that. But then we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, or praying that he may just be there. The stories I hear spool that. But before we delve into the Nations Cup proper, the AFCON proper, I'm just eager to go to AFCON because it's so close. Let's talk about the ability games that ended in Lagos. The ability games where you have over 100 athletes, both track and field, the wheelchair, table tennis, the wheelchair athletics, all of them taking part in the championship. You also have the powerlifters, the hand cycling, the chairs, and the 50 meters wheelchair marathon race. It was a whole lot that happened in Lagos. So for these ability games, it's the very first edition in Lagos. So when you're looking for, I mean, Tayo, when this program was coming up, we talked about the fact that how this is always going to help to bring in more athletes that can compete at the Paralympic Games. And Lagos, is, taking a bold step, organizing the ability games. That's the blind football, yes.
It's also big. It's big. It's a big sport. So good to see the blind football too. They're great one. And just a few days after, I remember last week we discussed about this ability games, and there was this press release from the National Sports Council also that going forward now there are plans to have a para sports festival. As if like we said, it's not just when it is time for Commonwealth, maybe the Olympics, Paralympics, that we should be seeing some of these athletes. We should know that's not when we should know what's been happening to them. We just begin to hear that every 4 years. No, I think it's a welcome development by the National Sport. Let's have a para festivals too. So we begin to see prospects, especially when it comes to, we already know them, that this where we will definitely have comparative advantage when it comes to global sports, para sports, and that's great to see. Then Lagos is also leading with the ability sports.
Awesome.
So, the more the merrier. Let's begin to have it, and we can. Great to see
all of these athletes.
Yeah, because I get your point there. Because at the National Sports Festival, we also have them, but focus is usually not on them. So maybe we can have their own festival. That would be great.
It's good to have the separate. Great decision from the National Sports Council, I must say.
Yeah,
all right, let's listen to.
Yeah, it will.
Let's listen to the organizers.
I would like to say things like this really need to get more, to be spread wide between Lagos State, because as you can see, we are only doing a track event today, and we still have some other sports. As a para athlete, there's wheelchair basketball, there's wheelchair tennis, there's volleyball, and all those sports, like in wheelchair basketball, if we have a league that consists of 10 clubs, and in each club there are 12 or 10 players, and if you can times those numbers, you can see some of our beggars will be able to go off the street, because sport is an inclusive sport that also rehabilitates physically challenged people.
What is happening in essence here today is to harness more of such talents and energy, sporting energy that abounds among persons with disability, particularly in Lagos State, because this is where it is in Lagos where they got discovered. It is Lagos where they got nurtured and developed, and it is from Lagos they got the exposure. You can see there's so much enthusiasm with little or next to nothing. You can see the turnout of the athletes. You can see their doggedness in spite of all the challenges we've had today. It only shows you what is possible, so much that can be achieved if all the necessary supports are there.
Yes, so much is really possible if all the facilities, the phones, everything, it's there. There's so much we can actually give to people living with disability. A good one from Lagos State government organizing this. I hope it's going to be every year. This is the very first time it's happening. Hopefully we can have more. And as Jide mentioned, we can also have the Para Festival nationally, their own festival where the focus will solely be on them. And I love the fact that the sports minister, when he was signing the MOU with the state government concerning the National Sports Festival in 2022, he mentioned that a department have been created for para sports. That's good. So they can come up with
begin to work the modalities for para festival. Fantastic. And at times we forget that there are some of these athletes that are abroad playing for professional clubs.
Of course.
The wheelchair basketball he mentioned, there is a wife and the husband, Nigerian, that are playing for the wheelchair basketball abroad. Even the amputee football, that we have Nigerians playing abroad. Already sending money home. Big boys, big athletes.
You're right. We've got to take these things a lot more seriously. Because
no lip service anymore.
Because sports I think is the most important platform when you talk about inclusion for a lot of these people. So it would be good to continue to give them the opportunity to thrive in life.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. That's
okay,
the power of
so
sports.
back to the outcome. A countdown, 9 days to go.
It's 9 days and we have 6 players in camp. And of course, the story everywhere is the fact that Victor Osimhen has pulled out. That's the story you're hearing from everywhere. But we haven't received official confirmation from him nor the club. It's still the fact that he tested positive for COVID-19, needs to isolate for a while. He did the test before they will decide if he'll be fit.
If he's going to isolate, if he's going to isolate for a while, I think isolation. The last time I checked, it would be less than 7 days.
He's vaccinated.
That's before you know it, the Nations Cup has started. But we discussed this last week, and I said it doesn't really make sense for us to have this young man. It's just he doesn't. If you
hasn't kicked the ball in how many months now? Hasn't trained.
Let him really recuperate. Let him recuperate well, and let him,
all right,
do all he needs to do for his club. Let's see him back. His feet. That we can't throw him into the
into the deep end.
He can't just go to the Nations Cup and add to the numbers, sit on the bench for what? We need players that will kick the ball. I don't see him kicking the ball at the AFCON. So there's no point.
Unlikely.
No official. I don't think we really need any official statement to tell us we don't need
are clear to
Victor Osimhen to sit back, go back to Napoli. He's already there. Let him isolate. Recuperate very well. Hopefully, like I said, there is playoff in March.
We need to go on a break. We need to go on a break. When we come back, there's a story coming from Nigerian Football Federation that Henry Onyekuru is replacing Victor Osimhen in the Super Eagles squad. Stay with us. All right, breaking news coming from Nigerian Football Federation. Victor Osimhen officially is out of the Nations Cup. Peter Olayinka is in for him. Shehu Abdullahi is also out. Tyron Oboe is replacing him. Leon Balogun is out. Shemi Ajayi will be in for him. And you also have Emmanuel Dennis is out. Henry Onyekuru is in. Now, this is breaking news coming from Nigeria Football Federation. You have so many players out. Victor Osimhen officially is out of the Nations Cup. Shehu Abdullahi, injury is out. Tyron Oboe is in. Leon Balogun is out. Shemi Ajayi is in. Emmanuel Dennis, he's out. And Henry Onyekuru is in. Okay. Now, this is a whole lot. Take a deep breath because we were hoping that, okay, if Osimhen is not here, of course, Dennis is here. Now, just look at this lineup that have changed. If you're looking at the forwards now, you have Ahmed Musa, you have Chukwueze, you have Henry Onyekuru coming in, Moses Simon in, Sadiq Umar is in, Taiwo Awoni is in, Odion Ighalo is there. Then you have Alex Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Peter Olayinka from Slava Praha, Czech Republic. He's in. I don't envy Coach Eguavoen at this moment at all.
Yeah, I think it's a solid squad. Yeah, we would miss already. For me, as a person, I had already prepared my mind about life without the AFCON, without Osimhen.
Yes.
So I'm not really surprised. If there is any surprise, it's about the fact that Dennis won't be playing. Because there was speculation that they were having issues with Watford. So I don't know what the issue is because it's already spelled out by the FIFA, by the World Governing Body, the World League also Summit Council or Forum. They also made that most of this, especially for the English Premiership club side, they should be able to release their players by the 4th of January. Yeah, after everybody should be out.
So Ranieri said something,
about
the mail, a pre-call-up mail coming in late. He said that after the game against West Ham, I believe. Dennis got a fantastic goal in that game.
Maybe people not saw that or something.
So he said that afterwards, and a lot of people were wondering, okay, where is this going to go to? So this is pretty much confirmation coming from the NFF saying there's something definitely wrong. Something had gone wrong or has gone wrong in that process of inviting
a player has been called. That means that maybe, I don't know, but it's too late now because I don't see, already you can't have more than 28 players. There is 28 right
28,
now.
yes.
28,
course,
so even if they are going to take it up with Watford, because if Ranieri, also, these people don't lie about stuff, but apparently maybe it came late. I know they wouldn't want, none of these clubs really want to release some of these players for real, but we shouldn't play into their hands. I hope that we didn't really play into Watford.
Hopefully that's not the case.
Hopefully that's not
because
the case.
What the NFF have done here is to just wave the white flag.
Okay, you know what? He's
Keep your guy.
So let's read through the names that are out again. In case you missed it, Victor Osimhen is out. Peter Olayinka is in. Leon Balogun is injured, so Shemi Ajayi is replacing. Emmanuel Dennis is out. Henry Onyekuru is replacing. And Shehu Abdullahi, of course, is injured. He's out. Tyron Oboe is in. There are some people who were asking about Tyron Oboe. Those of you who wanted him in. So he's in right now, finally. Henry Onyekuru is back in the squad. Tyron Oboe is there. Peter Olayinka. And, of course, Shemi Ajayi. These are the players in. And the players out, Victor Osimhen, Shehu Abdullahi, Leon Balogun, Emmanuel Dennis.
Wow.
Heartbreak.
Leon is the plastic is injured again. I think Leon is
injured. He's injured. He's injured.
In and out of injury most times, always injured.
So he's Emmanuel
I'm
Dennis.
just looking at those pairing for the defensive midfield.
Heartbreak right now.
All right. What's it called?
Centre back.
Centre backs. No, since Tyron doesn't really play from.
Yeah, but you have Kenneth Omero.
Yes, Shemi Ajayi. So we won't really miss Leon Balogun much. But without Victor Osimhen and Emmanuel Dennis, well, our top strikers will have to change it. We wanted 2 strikers up front. We have to change it now.
All right.
Perfect manager. Sorry?
I think it depends. He was talking about 2 strikers. I was wondering, when did you become a manager? Let's see what format. Don't worry. I think the manager should know what to really play. We have 2 in 1. We have one manager. One is Austin Eguavoen, who is the interim manager. And we have an observer manager, too. That will also be helping from the flanks, too. So let's see what they will be coming up with.
Fingers crossed. I was just going to say, incredible foresights are coming from the former coach, getting a raw to bring back Odion Ighalo. Like he knew all of this was going to happen.
He's a genius right now.
Come on, man. Odion is going to lead the
But no disrespect to all those who have been called. One thing about football
is that... I'm sure Kelechi
Iheanacho
will have to switch his position.
No disrespect to other players who have been called, like Taiwo Awoni is also a fantastic
Yes,
player. Maybe
Taiwo
this
is
time
opportunity.
it might take this opportunity. It might
Yes,
grab
he
it
will
with
grab
both
it.
hands.
He will grab it.
I'll be very
So let's see what
surprised
we'll do. There are a lot of them.
Peter Ighalo
Peter
is not
Lainka,
leading
two
Nigeria's
fantastic
attack.
players.
He's going to lead the attack, of course. He's the most... Check,
he might be
check
the
the
hero.
strikers we have right
Yeah.
now.
One
He's
thing
the most
about it,
senior
we
player.
might see a new hero at the Nations Cup.
Let's see.
That's it.
Let's see what's going to happen. But right now, Victor Osimhen, Emmanuel Dennis, they
Wow.
will not be leading Nigeria's attack at the Nations Cup.
That's incredible.
That's the story.
Not the New Year's Eve
Yeah.
news we wanted or were expecting.
It's
Even
the
though for
Nations Cup.
Osimhen, not a surprise for me and the GDM.
Yeah, not
for
surprised.
few of us.
But Emmanuel Dennis,
Dennis.
my heart is broken right now.
How we played into.
All right.
Well,
we will definitely be needing a
quickly. Let's just reel out this one. Yeah, of course, we need an explanation, especially for Emmanuel Dennis. Yes, we understand Cheo Abdullahi
Ranieri also gave you like an idea of where some of this.
But we need explanation, and of course, we'll provide all that on Monday. And of course, Sport Tonight will also provide some answers for you. Okay, no Sport tonight because, of course, it's the New Year's Eve activities and programs on channels of television. But on Monday, we'll provide you all the answers that you need to know concerning why Emmanuel Dennis is not going to the Nations Cup. All right, quickly, we'll take a look at Nigeria Professional Football League, the games for this weekend. No break for them because, of course, the league started late. Games played yesterday. Kano Pillars, well, they're having a woeful season right now. They lost at Katsina United by a lone goal. And the game between Niger Tornadoes and Abia Warriors ended 1-1. They shared the sports there. Match day 4 fixtures. Dakar and Remo Stars will be in action. You have Gombe United and Lobby Stars also in action on the 2nd of 2022. Nasarawa United and Aqua United in action. Wiki Tourists and MFM. Rivers United and Sunshine Stars. Kano Pillars and Enyimba. That's the game. I mean, there's no better way to start.
That's the big game.
That's the big game.
That would be the redemption. It might be a redemption time for Enyimba. For Kano Pillars, rather.
Let's see Shooting Stars and Katsina, Plateau United and Heartland, Abia Warriors and Kwara United, Rangers and Niger Tornadoes are the games to watch out for in Nigeria Professional Football League. Match day 4.
Can't wait for that one. Before we take a look at the papers, let's take us one meal. We can afford to take one.
All right.
Before we close the show, Educate Eze, you're saying, of course, your mail is about your best moments for sports in the country. It is difficult to find the best moments for Nigerian sports in 2021 because for every one high moment, there are 3 low moments.
Okay,
wow.
All right.
My high moments are Aaron Okwadji's performance and the young gymnast Stephanie. My low moments, so many of them. Disqualification of our athletes at the Olympics, the ban of Blessing of Kagbari, should I mention the loss at home to Central African Republic. My hope for next year is a more... Okay, anyway, let's leave your hopes for next year. We'll take that on Monday.
All right.
Join us
Okay,
again.
quickly, try to take some other one. Murusudin says, please, Nigerians should appeal to Super Eagles players to resume early for AFCON preparation. That's what is coming from you. And Agudu, quickly, this one... Okay, Haruna Lukman is the right person to replace Osimhen. My worst moment in 2021 is when I heard that Osimhen and Emmanuel Dennis are out. My God, I'm crying right now. Okay, all right.
He's talking about
Ademola Lukman. Yeah, there's not Haruna. Yeah, he's not been cleared. So he's not been cleared to play for Nigeria. So we can't really have him to be here. And of course, your best moment was when the Tigers won the trophy, the 3 peats. That's also my best moment. Okay,
it's hard to argue against.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the
papers. Sporting Sun. Yes, I'll start with Sporting Sun. Yeah, yes, you have it. Osimhen finally pulls out of AFCON because NFF has confirmed that because Peter Lainka and of course Oyenkuru are in. That's coming from Sporting Sun. You also have Real Madrid eyeing Osimhen as alternate for Haaland. Super Eagles to play friendly against Cameroon's Cotton Sports. That's on Sporting Life. Of course, you have Dortmund offers Haaland £260,000 a week.
All right, let's have the others.
Okay, the other ones, you have a Complete Sports right here. Complete Sports, confusion over Osimhen's AFCON participation. NFF has clarified that there's no confusion anymore. He's out. He will not be at the Nations Cup. And of course, Tayo, the last one, which is, okay, I'll just take the last one. Yeah. Sporting Life is the last one. Okay, now your answer is right here. The guy who sent us an email concerning Lukman. Lukman not cleared by NFF, by FIFA, that's according to NFF. There you have your answer. Lukman will not be there. So you have Peter Lainka and, of course, Henry Onyekuru will be the ones to show off the striking force when we're having Emmanuel Dennis and Victor Osimhen out of it.
So those are Nigeria's arguably Nigeria's best two forwards.
Right now,
in
at the
Europe.
moment.
Funny enough,
At
names are
the
just
moment.
coming up, propping up from left, right everywhere now when it comes to the Eagles list. That means we have enough players to execute
So
them.
many.
Yes. So why not? Why are we afraid? Why are we skeptical?
Jide, want to thank
Not
you
afraid.
so much for coming on the program, and thank you for making 2021 the best year ever for us on the program.
That's nice. I'm blushing, Darren. Thank you very much for having me.
I can't see any red.
Appreciate
All
your
right.
time,
Thank
Jide.
you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you all for being a part of our 2021 as well, too. Really appreciate it. We're not taking it for granted, and endeavor to join us again for another fantastic ride next year. I am Tayo Salah.
Thank you so much. I'm Cecilia Omongbe. Do have a fantastic New Year celebration and wishing you a Happy New Year. See you next year.